We invite you to watch how we clear the views on all matters through our partner station MITV on DSTV channel 255, 7 p.m. daily, and also our YouTube and Facebook pages under one name, Clearview News Desk every day. We call it the People's News, as we are available to come over and cover your events upon notice. Or do you have news you want us to broadcast? Send it in. We verify and go to town with it. All for you. Go ahead, engage us to thrash out those naughty issues on the news. And what we need from you is to share and subscribe. More important, convince your loved ones, friends, relatives, co-worshippers, and more to subscribe so as to be getting notifications as we break the news. Go a step further, like the news, and drop your thoughts on the comment section. Clearview News. We clear the view one time and for all time.
Hello and welcome to Clearview News Desk. We are reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. First, the headlines. DHQ replies Asari Dokubo. Confront soldiers on the battlefield if you are bold enough. No scientific proof that witches are responsible for road traffic crashes in Nigeria, says FRSC. Clearview News Desk celebrates a woman of note, Abike Dabiri, as she clocks 62. I am Gloria Atta with these and more. Welcome. The Defense Headquarters has said that it chose not to go after former Niger Delta militant warlord Mujahid Asari Dokubo to avoid being accused of acting undemocratically. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, made the remark in Abuja while responding to a recent report about Asari Dokubo's alleged threat to shoot down a military helicopter that had reportedly hovered around his residence. Addressing journalists, the DHQ spokesman described Asari Dokubo's threat as laughable, challenging him to confront soldiers on the battlefield if he was bold enough. Buba explained that the military's focus remained on combating terrorists across various theaters of operations. Now, the Federal Road Safety Corps have said there is no scientific proof that witches are responsible for road traffic crashes in Nigeria. FRSC Sector Commander in Gombe, Samson Kaura, stated this on Thursday while briefing journalists on efforts to ensure safety during the 2024 Ember months. Kaura said that the widely held belief by some Nigerians that evil spirits were responsible for road crashes during Ember months was false and misleading. That contrary to the belief that road crashes were a manipulation of witches, the major causes of most auto crashes were speeding, driving under the influence of alcohol and drugs, bad tires, and poor state of cars. According to him, motorists often hide under such falsehoods to avoid being blamed for crashes. According to the FRSC sector commander, the last 4 months of the year were marked with increased road traffic because farmers were harvesting and transporting their goods. He stated that others have planned weddings and other social events for the periods, which result in a high traffic volume, and any recklessness in this regard will lead to increased crashes too. Kaura further advised motorists in the state to always stick to traffic rules and obey all road signs while avoiding the temptation of hurrying while using the road. He said that the command would strengthen enforcement and visibility across the state to ensure safety and quick response in cases of crashes to reduce fatalities. Still talking security, the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru Abubakar, has expressed optimism that by the second quarter of 2025, the nation's crude oil production will hit 2.3 million barrels per day following the ongoing military onslaught against crude oil theft and other related maritime crimes in the Niger Delta region. Mohammed Badaru made the disclosure during an operational visit to the headquarters of 6th Division Nigerian Army in Port Harcourt, Rivers State capital. Clearview's Imifono Korn has the details.
The operational visit by Nigeria's Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru Abubakar, to the headquarters of 6th Division Nigerian Army was to encourage the military in the fight against crude oil theft and other forms of maritime crimes in the oil-rich Niger Delta region. With the marching order by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to the Nigerian military to contain the menace of oil thieves in the region, the minister said if the gain so far recorded in the fight against crude oil theft is sustained, crude oil production per day will hit over 2 million barrels by the middle of next year.
Well, I've gone through the detailed plan that was agreed by the Chief of Defense Staff, and is work in progress. I don't believe we will have to tell you what we are doing, but certainly you have seen the progress so far. The oil production have continued to increase, and I assure you, before the end of the year, we will see tremendous increase in the oil production in this country. I believe we are now at around between 1.6 to 1.7 million barrels, as against 1.4 that we were on. And I believe by the end of the year, we will see ourselves around 2 million barrels, 1.92 million barrels, and by the middle of next year, God's willing, we will see us, we will be producing around 2.3 million barrels. With the arrangement I have seen in place, and with the effort the armed forces are putting, with the support of the Chief of Defense Staff and the service chiefs, of course, with the encouragement and the support of Mr. President.
As part of efforts to mitigate climate change, Mohammed Badaru also planted some trees and commissioned the 26 engineering regiment houses for senior officers. Abubakar attributed the projected increase in oil production to the military's effort in combating crude oil theft in the Niger Delta region to the president's support. Imifono Korn reporting for Clearview.
The over 3,000 internally displaced persons, IDPs, housed at the Government Day Secondary School, Tumtum, located in Kuta, the headquarters of Shiroro local government area of Niger State, have again called on the federal government to do all it takes to ensure their return to their ancestral land. The IDPs, who are predominantly farmers, express frustration with camp life and want to return to their farms to continue living their normal lives. Clearview News' Imifono Korn has the details.
Investigation reveals that the IDPs, numbering over 42,000, are being camped in educational institutions and worship centers in Shiroro, Monya, and Rafi local government areas of Niger State. The IDPs, mostly women and children, were displaced from their ancestral homes as a result of banditry and terrorist attacks, which led to the killing of several men in the communities. At the Kuta IDP camp, there are 3,180 persons, constituting 1,040 women, 1,610 children, and 530 men from 350 households affected, who have spent 6 years since the camp was opened in 2018. This is the second time they are making an appeal after the recent visit of the Vice President Kashim Shettima to the Kwada camp. Part of the reasons for the anxiety to return home is due to the poor hygienic condition of the camp, as well as inadequate treatment of preventable diseases.
So many diseases are coming in. They have cholera, and because of the food they eat, anything they just see, anything they eat, their children will be playing outside, taking things, picking things from ground and be eating. Because of that, they are having cholera and this typhoid issue. Then ulcer, most of the adult people here are having ulcer, and we know it's hunger that causes ulcer.
For others, the government seems to have forgotten them, saying their palliatives being brought to them by the government are not the solution they want. They urged the government to rather intensify the fight against insecurity, facilitate their return home, and help provide support for them to build shelters, as their houses have been burnt down and destroyed by terrorists during the attacks. Meanwhile, the National Assembly member representing the area at the Senate, Sani Musa, who visited the IDPs with both food and non-food items, reassured them of their safe return home.
You come in and you see the kind of people here, you know that it's not their liking to be here. They want to go back home so that they can farm. And I think most of them that you see, the genuine ones want to go back home. And that is what we are trying to do.
Sani also used the medium to explain government effort in winning the war against insecurity, restating that the existing community policing should be given more funding rather than the establishment of state police.
It will be abused by the politicians, it will be abused by us politicians. And then we do not have the resources. And there will be bias in terms of geographical spread. If you look at the demography, it's not the same.
At the moment, there are 46,853 IDPs scattered across 14 camps in Niger State due to terrorism are only hoping and praying for the day they will return to their ancestral homes. However, this hope lies with the government to facilitate the move. Imefonokon, reporting for Clever News.
If you are just joining us, you're watching the news on Clearview News Desk. We will be back after this break. Stay with us.
We break the news.
This is Christ Embassy.
Recollect, we were the first to break this. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf of Kano State has approved the appointment of 3 second-class emirs. And this?
Erasmus is the most successful program of the European Union to support education and youth.
And this?
Fubara is not an ungrateful person.
And more.
Tension is currently mounting in Rivers State.
The planned arraignment of Yaya Bello.
Across our platforms. Subscribe now and you will be receiving our notifications and never left out as the news breaks on Clearview.
Welcome back. Today, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri Erewa, clocks 62. Over the years, she has been described by many as a sterling Nigerian Amazon for her brilliance in the discharge of her duties and her compassion for the less privileged. Today, Clearview News Desk beams the spotlight on the journey so far of this quintessential woman, now nicknamed Lady Diaspora, and her contributions to national development. Dabiri Erewa attended Maryland Private School, Maryland, Ikeja for her primary school education and St. Teresa's College, Ibadan for her secondary education. She obtained her first degree in English language from the prestigious University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. She obtained a postgraduate diploma in mass communication and also a master's degree in mass communication from the University of Lagos, Akoka. She also studied in the United States at Harvard University's John F. Kennedy School of Government. Dabiri Erewa worked for the Nigerian Television Authority (NTA) for 15 years, anchoring the weekly NTA Newsline program and taking a particular interest in poverty and social justice issues. She retired from her position at Nigerian Television Authority to stand for election in the House of Representatives, winning with a substantial majority. She was the chairperson chairperson, House Committee on Media in the Federal House of Representatives from 2003 to 2007, representing Ikorodu constituency in Lagos State. She was also the former chairperson of the House Committee on Diaspora Affairs and was elected for the first time in 2003 and re-elected in 2007 and 2011. Dabiri Erewa championed and sponsored a number of significant bills that were passed by Parliament, including the Freedom of Information Bill and the Violence Against Persons Bill, which have both been signed into law in Nigeria. The Nigerian Infant Welfare Scheme Bill, Nigerians with Disabilities Bill, a bill to amend the Railway Act to allow private sector and state participation, Nigerian Diaspora Commission Bill, and a bill to promote the advancement of Nigerian women and girls, among others. In 2015, she was appointed as the Senior Special Assistant to President Muhammadu Buhari on Foreign Affairs and Diaspora. In November 2018, Dabiri Erewa was given a new role of Chairman CEO of Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM. Since her assumption of office, Honorable Abike has been instrumental in rescuing Nigerians in various dilemmas in different countries like Malaysia, the United Arab Emirates, China, Brazil, Morocco, India, Lebanon, Qatar, Benin Republic, United Kingdom, and many other countries. Worthy of note is her contributions to the evacuation of Nigerians from South Africa due to xenophobic attacks and her intervention to the wrong imprisonment of one Zainab Habibu Aliyu, a 22-year-old victim of a drug cartel who was imprisoned in Saudi Arabia for an offense she didn't commit, among many other cases.
I just want to say that I want to encourage all Nigerians in the diaspora, do what all these groups are doing. Abroad, they get people together to see what they can do. Nigerians in the UK alone they have an economic worth of over £70 million. It's documented. There's no debate about it. So what we're doing is encourage them to do something back in their own home country. After retirement, after everything abroad, you're still coming back home.
Her dedication to addressing issues that affect Nigerians both home and abroad has earned her over 350 national and international recognitions. Some of these awards include Bridge Builders Award in Washington, UNICEF Child Friendly Award, Certificate of Recognition from California Legislative Assembly, Award for Excellence in the Pursuit of Social Justice for All, and a host of others. Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa is married to Segun Erewa and blessed with children and grandchildren. Clearview Television celebrates Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa for being a voice for the voiceless and a symbol of hope and a source of inspiration to millions of women and the girl child in Nigeria and beyond. Call the month of October a special one, as just yesterday, 10th October, Professor Ishak Olarinwaju Oloyede, the Registrar, Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board JAMB, who is also Secretary General, Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs and former Vice-Chancellor, University of Ilorin, clocked 70 years on the surface of the earth. Clearview News Desk presents yet another spotlight on the man who wears many feathers on his cap. Born on 10th October 1954 in Abeokuta South Local Government Area of Ogun State, Ishak Olarinwaju Oloyede had his secondary education from 1969 to 1973 at the Progressive Institute, Agege, Lagos. He then learned Arabic and Islamic studies between 1973 to 1976 at the Arabic Training Center, Agege, Lagos. Thereafter, he proceeded to the University of Ibadan, where he received a certificate in Arabic and Islamic Studies in 1977. He further obtained a Bachelor of Arts with first-class honors in Arabic at the University of Ilorin in 1981, where he also bagged his Master and PhD degrees in 1985 and 1991 respectively. On July 1982, he was appointed an assistant lecturer in the Department of Religions of the university. He rose through the ranks to become a professor of Islamic jurisprudence in 1995. He was elected Vice-Chancellor of his alma mater, University of Ilorin, in 2007 for a term of 5 years, making him the first alumnus of the university to become its Vice-Chancellor. During his term as a Vice-Chancellor,
The university became highly ranked among the best in Africa and the most sought-after university in Nigeria. Oloyede also served as the chairman of the Association of Vice-Chancellors of Nigerian Universities and Committee of Vice-Chancellors between 2011 and 2012. At the international level, he has held several distinguished positions. Between 2009 to 2011, he was the president of the Association of African Universities, AAU. Added to his leadership positions include Deputy Chairman of the Governing Board of the International Association of Universities from 2008 to 2011 and Secretary General, Association of West African Universities between 2013 and 2017. In 2015, he was appointed the second Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of the Third Governing Council of Fountain University, Nigeria. Also in 2005, he was appointed by President Olusegun Obasanjo as co-secretary to the National Political Reform Conference. In 2006, he was appointed as consultant by the National Universities Commission on Educational Reforms in Nigeria. Oloyede became the national coordinator and executive secretary of the National Interreligious Council in 2007. Since 2013, he has been the Secretary General of the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs. In 2016, President Muhammadu Buhari appointed him as the Registrar of the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, an appointment personally described by him as divine and was greeted by applause from several quarters of the Nigerian society. Since his assumption of office, Oloyede has been praised for transforming JAMB into a reference point in effective public service delivery, transparency and accountability in Nigeria. During the course of his life, Professor Oloyede has bagged several scholarships and awards, among which are member of several distinguished organizations and fellowships, including the Association of Commonwealth Universities. He is also a member of many learned and professional societies, including Fellow of the Islamic Academy of Cambridge, United Kingdom, Fellow Academy of Entrepreneurship, member of Nigerian Association of Teachers of Arabic and Islamic Studies, member of Editorial Board, Center for Islamic Legal Studies, ABU Zaria, among several others. Clearview celebrates Professor Ishaq Oloyede's impeccable profile and personality, as well as his invaluable contributions to nation building through the academia and public sector, which have significantly impacted on so many, especially those in the academia.
Nigeria has joined the global community to commemorate the International Day of the Girl Child with a dialogue focused on strengthening protection laws for girls. The event, organized by Care Nigeria, brought together stakeholders to discuss the proposed repeal and enactment of the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Law. Clearview's Florence Joshua was at the event and tells us more.
Girls should be encouraged to lead and to make their voices heard. Our ideas and perspectives are valuable and they deserve to be recognized. Finally,
the VAP law enacted to combat gender-based violence has been a crucial tool in protecting Nigerian women and girls. However, its repeal has been proposed, sparking concerns among activists and organizations working to promote girls' rights. Dr. Hussaini Abdul, Country Director of Care Nigeria, in his welcome address, emphasized the importance of protecting girls' rights and promoting empowerment for them.
We are deeply committed to the empowerment of girls, not just as beneficiaries of our programs, but as active participants and leaders in shaping their future. Today is a powerful reminder that girls are not asking for permission to dream. The girls have right to dream. They are already envisioning and working towards a world where they can thrive, where they are safe, educated, and free to make decisions about their lives. This is why our new country strategy, titled Leading Locally and Connecting Globally for Impact, emphasized our unwavering commitment to empowering women and girls by fostering strong local leadership and leveraging global partnership.
I see a world where gender equality is a reality. Girls and boys, women and men, standing side by side, working together to build a better world. In this future, our worth is not determined by our gender, but by our character, our abilities, and what we bring to the table.
Also speaking, stakeholders present analyzed on the proposed repeal and enactment of the VAP law. A panel discussion further explored the future of the girl child in Nigeria, focusing on the VAP law.
Talking about the girl child, we're talking about the day of the girl child, and I need everybody to understand that we all have to have our hands on deck to ensure that the regulations, the legislature, and every ingredient that is needed to ensure the safety of the girl child is enhanced, is harnessed, and is put into work.
This is a primary concern to make sure that policies and laws are constantly in place to protect the rights and of the girl child at any given time.
There needs to be awareness around this bill that was proposed by a senator. There needs to be better understanding of what the bill seeks to achieve, because I think there's a lot of misconception and misunderstanding of the content of the bill and what it seeks to achieve. Okay, so I think one of the gaps in the existing VAP Act, which the bill is seeking to cure, is the provision for mandatory compensation for victims of violence. That's not very elaborate in the current VAP Act, so the bill is proposing that, which is very good. And I think also another very important, and which I would say is the most innovative provision in the bill, is the establishment of the Victims of Violence Support Fund.
One of the things we can do is basically not to repeal the act, the VAP Act, but we can look at ways we can amend, and instill some stiffer punishments, and also strategies on how to move this forward that will bring better results.
Speakers at the event urged the Nigerian government to protect and strengthen the VAP law rather than repealing it. They emphasized that repealing the law would undermine efforts to combat gender-based violence and threaten education of the girl child. The International Day of the Girl Child is a reminder of the challenges faced by the girl child worldwide, including child marriage, early pregnancy, and limited access to education. In Nigeria, over 60% of out-of-school children are girls. Stakeholders are expected to work together to strengthen the VAP law, promote education of the girl child, and empower them to create a brighter future for all. Florence Joshua reporting for Clearview News Desk.
And that's the news. But before we go, a recap of the top stories.
The Defense Headquarters said that it chose not to go after former Niger Delta militant warlord Mujahid Asari Dokubo to avoid being accused of acting undemocratically. The Federal Road Safety Corps have said there is no scientific proof that witches are responsible for road traffic crashes in Nigeria. Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri Erewa, a quintessential woman now nicknamed Lady Diaspora, considering her significant contributions to national development, clocks 62 today.
You can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Clearview News Desk, or via our handle on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Clearview Online. Many thanks for joining us. I am Gloria Atta. Bye for now.